Hello everyone, and welcome to After Alexander, Episode 57, The Battle of Ancyra. Last time, we saw Seleucus II cross into Anatolia and get bogged down fighting his brother Antiochus Hierax. The entry of Mithridates II and the Galatians was a major boost to Hierax's cause. This week, we finally pick up with the showdown I left hanging in episode 55. The battlefield of Ancyra is waiting for us. The Battle of Ancyra was fought by Seleucus II against Hierax, Mithridates II of Pontus, and the Galatians close to the city of Ancyra. It is clear to Grainger that Seleucus had been invading the lands of the Galatians. Similarly, Bevan writes that Eusebius recounts that the battle was in Cappadocia. There might be an explanation in that Ancyra itself was part of a region which Seleucus II had permitted Mithridates II to add to his kingdom of Pontus. Given how Mithridates has recently become a turncoat, he's probably regretting that generosity round about now. Incidentally, there's an oddity in my sources in that Edwin Bevan keeps referring to Mithridates II as King of Cappadocia, but my modern sources unambiguously portray him as the King of Pontus. Regardless, Seleucus might have been trying to prevent the city of Sardis from talking to Mithridates, and the Battle of Ancyra might be part of this ambition. Essentially, this idea says that Seleucus is foraying into Mithridates' territory to stop Antiochus and Mithridates from communicating, and the two sides met each other at Ancyra. I'll lead with the big reveal here. We know it was a big battle, and we know that Seleucus II was beaten in this conflict. I know, first the fight in Palestine against Ptolemy III, and now this. Seleucus II is not exactly having the best time since becoming king. During the course of the battle, it was temporarily thought that Seleucus II had been killed. Once the day was over and the conflict was finished, Hierax's men could not find Seleucus on the field of battle and became convinced he was dead. Antiochus promptly put on a show of mourning. He put on mourning clothes and locked himself away. In this instant, Hierax knew himself to be the only king of the Seleukid Empire. John Grainger paints a picture of Antiochus's mind surely wandering towards how to consolidate the rest of the vast empire. I suppose it's quite a mental change to go from thinking of yourself as king of Anatolia to being king of everywhere from Asia Minor to the borders of India. However, this isn't our summary episode just yet. This is because it transpired that Seleucus II was not in fact dead. He had simply fled off the battlefield while wearing a disguise. More specifically, he was pretending to be the man who carried the armour of someone called Hamaktion. This Hamaktion was the commander of Seleucus's royal troops. The news arrived to Hierax that Seleucus had fled across the Taurus mountains and was bringing more men to his banner. This makes me think that quite some time must have gone by before this news was revealed, given that Seleucus had enough time to go all the way from the northwest of Anatolia to the other side of the Taurus mountains. More than that, enough time had passed for a message to get back to Antiochus Hierax somehow. In response to this news, Hierax hosted a sacrifice to give thanks for his brother's surviving. In cities all across his domains, there were public celebrations. However, it's not difficult to imagine him grinding his teeth in vexation as he pretended to be overjoyed that his older brother had survived. Grainger poignantly notes that Antiochus Hierax would not get the chance of clawing his way to greater power a second time. All that said, he promptly sent a force eastwards to deal with his brother before he could catch his breath. A concubine of Seleucus called Mista was, however, not as lucky as him. She was apparently at the field of battle because, as happened with the Persian monarchs, women travelled into the army camp along with the kings. Mista had put on a common garb and was captured. This was presumably around the time Seleucus was being defeated and fleeing from the battle. Mista was sold to a merchant from Rhodes. Rhodes was allied to Seleucus and, when she made it to the island, she announced who she was. Rhodes bought her off the merchant who held her and returned her to Seleucus. However, this was not the fate of others. I suppose that those who don't have connections in high places don't have the same luck. The long and the short of it is that the Battle of Ancyra kneecapped Seleucus and prevented him from crossing back over to the west. However, the result of this defeat was not a Hierax-dominated Anatolia. Instead, it was chaos. Next time, we'll see Anatolia devolve into anarchy and a wildcard emerge from the shadows of our narrative. Until then, thank you all for listening. Feel free to get in touch at the show's email address for any questions, comments, or topic suggestions for future episodes. Until next time, have a great week, everyone.